care about online education since we're coming to school and we don't need this kind of education. We don't need this kind of methods of communication in order to get proper education. Well, as you know, there are some people who live outside of the city or who don't have the economical means to get proper education, to get university level education. Now, online education is a way to communicate as the internet is, as a telephone, as a television, as radio, and what online education, the objective of online education is to be able to reach every kind of student that exists, and well, the objective as well is to give them the proper education they're looking for. Now, it is also a way to shorten distances, as I mentioned, for people who don't live inside of cities or in urban areas, and it is also an open door to the world, since online education is directly connected with the internet. The internet is also another method of communication. It is a way to be in touch with the academic world, with the world of knowledge. Now, I'm going to mention you some advantages and disadvantages about online education. Well, as I mentioned before, it is a way to communicate, to shorten distances. It is an open world to those who don't live in cities. But it is also a way it is also a new opportunity to those who are not able to come to school, to university. Maybe there are some who can't afford to pay tuition, to pay a monthly fee for schools, and this could be an option for those kind of people. And not only for university students, but for high school students, or middle school, and also primary school as well, elementary school. Now, some disadvantages about online education could be that we can get distracted while we are in our computer. In order to get into the internet, we need a computer. It's like our portal to the world of knowledge, to the world of technology, to the world of information. And we can get distracted while we're using our computer. Maybe we are getting our online classes. We might just get bored and close the program, open your internet browser, and I don't know, log into Facebook or checking YouTube and start watching videos instead of studying or concentrating in your online education. Now, another disadvantage is that not all the students have access to internet in the whole world. Unfortunately, the percentage of people who actually have access to the internet is very little compared to the whole population of the world. Now, some areas of improvement in online education could be maybe making your education more interactive, maybe by designing new programs, maybe by talking to students, and maybe by designing some strategies in order to get the whole attention, the focus of the students, and so this way the students will not get distracted from their classes, and maybe they can get also more interested in what they're studying, and also, I don't know, maybe making their classes interesting, and also trying to make the students to do research on their own using the internet, or maybe using books. Now, why should we care? This is an issue that concerns us all, not only those who use online education, but those who don't as well as kids, students, adults, people from the elder age, and because this is an issue that very important because if we don't have proper education, we just can't have this prosperity we're looking for. We need to be properly educated. We need to have a foundation, a base of knowledge, so we can build a critical thinking and maybe improve society in the future. Now, online education goes hand in hand with globalization. Now, with globalization, we see that the world of technology right now, it's at its peak. It's very common to have computers these days. It's very common among all of the students, or maybe most of the students in this university, to have internet. And I think the future of education relies on an online basis. So maybe in the future, our kids or our grandkids, instead of going to schools, maybe they will receive online education. Maybe at home, maybe it can be in specific places, such as maybe a cyber cafe, I don't know, or maybe in a center that is designed specifically to get, for students to get education online. Now, some of us may think, hey, online education sounds cool, we're using computers and stuff, and technology, but what about books? I mean, are we going to leave the books? Are we going to just take the book aside and just take the computer and get engaged with the computer instead of having a book as our basis? I think that we should make the students to get interested in reading books while using the online education. And I think it would be good to plant a seed in kids' minds to keep using books and in order to not losing this habit that we should have that is very important, reading habit. Now, is this a useful tool at all? What do you think, Miguel? Do you think online education is useful?
What kind of education? Books?
Online education.
My opinion about that.
You think it's good?
Yeah. So it is really your topic or your proposal.
Yes, I believe it has more good aspects than it has two bad aspects. And sorry, this is a tool that we can get advantage from, and if we do it in the proper way. Now, is internet necessary to get online education? Yes, it is necessary because, as I mentioned, it is our only way to get into the world of education, to this more and more globalized world. Now, what I would like to change, if I had this political job, or if I had this political position, I would try to persuade the authorities, the higher authorities, to get internet for everyone, to get better means of communicating, better means of communication, so everyone can have internet, everyone can have a computer, and all the kids who are not able to go to schools because their school is far from their homes can get their education at home, and in order to raise better civilians in the future. Now, what can be done to get the best of it? I believe that by designing new strategies and by achieving new methods of education, maybe also by improving our communication services in the country, and maybe also by getting way for students to use it more. Now, as I mentioned, I believe the future of education lies on an online basis, and I think it's important that we start thinking about online education, even though we don't use it, so the next generations to come can have better opportunities, can get better education, and can be better civilians, better people, can form a better population than we are today. We are right now. Do you have any questions, any concerns, any suggestions? Maybe, or could you give me, for example, an idea, something you would improve, something you would like to change about communication?
No, I think it's okay. Maybe mostly depends on the person's commitment to the studies.
Depends on the person's habit of studying, and we also need to change our study habits by raising our kids from they're little and plant this idea in their minds, so they have so they use this method of education in a proper way. Josue, do you have any idea, any concern, any suggestion that you would like to?
I think your topic is also economical because the government will need to add more computers at schools and universities because, as you said, there are some children that are students that cannot afford buying a computer, and that's why not everyone is able to buy a computer or to study online because of that fact.
Yes, yeah, I understand what you say, and I agree with what you say. In order to get this online education program started or to make it official, we need to invest in technology, we need to invest